absolutely grotesque. Um, just I apologize. So Hamas beheaded 40 babies. Why are Americans so gullible? Um, it's very likely that that did not happen. If it did happen, the Israelis would definitely be confirming it and providing proof because obviously it serves their interests. The more brutal it looks like Hamas attack was, the more sort of blank check they get in terms of international support. You know, look at what these savages did, destroy them all, blah blah blah. Right? So they would definitely be very motivated to say yes, this happened, and here's the proof. Yet they won't confirm it. And our wonderful Uncle Joe went out on an international stage and referenced the 40 babies beheaded. That, of course, a bunch of um, tribalists online are spreading around on social media, all unconfirmed. Let me just explain how this shows again how gullible Americans are. This is not our first rodeo. How many times have we had these fake stories coming out from politics, domestic politics, to um, what was that guy, Jesse Smollett or whatever. Um, then you have the Ukraine stuff with the Ace guy and the something of Ghost Island or Ghost of something Island, whatever. Uh, I mean, and this is just recently. I mean, this kind of stuff has been going on for decades, right? And with that being said, you have the situation going on, and some story comes out about 40 beheaded babies, and these gullible Americans who seem incapable of learning from experience, they just eat it up, right? So if I want to push, support for Hamas, I could just go online and say, the Israelis are actually raped more women than the Hamas people, or some atrocity. The Israelis are taking Palestinian babies and cooking them and making soup and celebrating, doing some kind of Jewish celebration. I could put that out there, and without you know showing solid sources or like good proof, there's a good amount of people in this country that would just eat it up and be like, "Oh my goodness, the Israeli savages! Oh, I hope Hamas destroys them all." I don't know how else to comment on this. I mean, this keeps happening over and over again. So I guess what I can do is say in contrast, what's my approach? Right? My approach is I do learn from experience. Right? I have memory that goes beyond yesterday. So I have much memories. I mentioned a small part of what I remember about the lies and misinformation and propaganda. I have much more knowledge of that. And what I do is, when I identify a pattern, when I identify a thing, an issue, I adjust, right? If every time I drive down a certain road, I end up with a flat tire, I change my route to wherever I'm going to. I don't just keep driving down and complaining, "Oh my goodness, oh, I got another flat tire, I got another flat tire, I got another flat tire, I got another flat tire." Like, bro, pick another path. So what's my path? In these kind of situations, Ukraine war, now the Israeli um, Gaza conflict, I am robotic. I am extremely apathetic to anything that is said that is not verified, that I can't see with my own eyes. Even like, for example, it said this that the Israelis are using white phosphor. I heard that story. First time I heard it, I'm like, okay, whatever. Um, and some people, what do you mean, whatever? Like, do you know what that does? Yes, I know what it does. But what does that have to do with someone saying that they're using it? What I'm concerned about is it actually being used. I'm not bothered at all by someone saying that someone's using it, right? I'm not bothered by words. I'm bothered by actions, right? If I actually am aware that this is being used, that would bother me. But someone saying it doesn't have much of a reaction because I know we live in a society where there's so much lying and misinformation and propagandists and tribalists and opportunists, right? I recognize the reality of our situation. So it would be foolish of me to have an emotional reaction to unconfirmed information. Now, later on, I heard that it was actually confirmed by Humanity Watch or some, I don't know, some organization. Even then, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, so maybe this might have actually happened. But I would need to actually look into how they confirmed it, right? Because all I'm getting is words. I don't react that much to just words. I'm saying they did it and showing a picture of some white smoke. I don't know what white phosphor looks like. I don't know anything about this stuff. I can't just go with their words. There's so much incentive for so many reasons, political and financial, to lie and mislead people. Right? This is not new. When will we get it? Right? Um, Even as I'm watching stuff that the Hamas people did, in the back of my mind, I have to wonder, like, what am I actually looking at here? Is this old footage? Is this current footage? Where is this? Is this actually legit? Um, Now, the thing with that is Hamas themselves, I believe, has admitted that they did this stuff. So the videos of it, coupled with them admitting it, I'm like, okay, these guys are disgusting. Um, but if it was just like rumors, if people were just saying like, hey, they're raping people, I mean, knowing what I have heard about them, I'd be like, okay, that seems to make sense. But if it's just people saying it, I'd just be like, yeah, but still, I don't know. Um, some might look at that as a fence sitter approach because if you just simply question everything, um, you know what I mean, and you don't have a position, and no one can really bother you because it's like I'm not pro Israel, I'm not pro whatever. That's perhaps a Tim Pool approach. I don't think he would take that approach on this story, but that's a Tim Pool approach. It's not my approach. I do have positions, but my positions are not just based on emotions; they're based on logic and facts, right? I try to keep them as clean as possible and not get into my head. So one particular position I have is I think it's absolutely disgusting that the Israelis are cutting off the power and electricity and medicine to an entire what is it 2.2 million people in there. Defending yourself is one thing. Even you launch a bomb and it's because of the civilization, so congested. Some building goes down and it's an apartment building. You know, that's one thing, right? Regardless of what you think about that stuff. But to cut off all these necessities to an entire people, that's not targeting Hamas at all. That's not accidentally affecting civilians either, right? Civilians are not like sort of collateral damage necessarily. This is you are actively suffocating an entire people. 2.2 million of them. That's sick and that's disgusting. Um, the stuff that Hamas has admitted to. Uh, Attacking those civilians and killing them. Um, you know, that's sick and that is disgusting. Um, who is right and who is wrong in a situation? That's a deeper conversation for another video. But I can absolutely have a position, strong position, on aspects of the conflict. I don't have to sort of be on the fence and like, But I can be that way about information that's unconfirmed. 40 babies beheaded? So what? Those are words. Confirm that that actually happened, and then I can have an emotional response to that. Then it can disgust me. Until then, it's just words. Words do not matter. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's the way I look at it. I think that's the way you should look at it too. When you see people online like Ben Shapiro and whoever, you know, left wing people posting stuff about the atrocities of one side versus another, and you unquestion, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't question it at all. You just have a reaction of like, that's disgusting. You're a mark. That's how you react. You're a mark. So much lying, so much disinformation, and you're that easy to fool? Wow. Amazing. Listen to Debate Me channel, debate me comment section below, click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. By the way, there's a super hot supermodel on the other side of this camera right there that I'm looking at. There's actually 3 of them, and then there's a whole pile of gold bars in the corner. I'm not going to show you because I'm currently pretending to be homeless, and I don't want people to know that actually I got all these models and gold bars stacked up in the corner. But anyway, that's your treat for watching the entire video. Comment below.